coming up on today's show.
I dreamt, I had a dream. It was so vivid. And say, you know, here in America, there is a man of God. That man of God, if he prays for you, any disease, any type of disease, it will melt. After 3, 4, 5 days down the line, I saw on our local Zimbabwe TV, Reverend Ernest Angley. I said to Matthias, this is the man I dreamed about. He said, how do you know? I said, he's the one.
Stay with us because Our Grace Family starts now. Welcome to Our Grace Family. Thank you for joining us. I'm Reverend Steve Millar, a minister at Grace Cathedral. And this is my lovely wife, Kathy. On today's program, we have a married couple that traveled all the way from Zimbabwe, Africa, just to be part of the services here at Grace Cathedral. And they're also partners of our Growing in Grace mission program. And they're going to be sharing all that God has done for them and how God has changed their life through this Jesus ministry.
Welcome to the program, Pastors Mathias and Mildred. We're so happy to have you with us today.
Thank you. Glad to be with you. Thank
and
you
like
so
my
much.
husband mentioned, you came all the way from Zimbabwe to be with us in the services here at Grace Cathedral. And we're so happy to have you with us. And we want the people to get to know you, some of your background. So why don't we start with you, Matthias, and maybe you can share with our audience how you grew up in Zimbabwe.
Okay. It's a pleasure for me to be here. My full name, Matthias Madziwanzira. And I was born in a rural home, a community. We call it District of Mount Darwin. Well, we grew up with our mother for the greater part of my childhood. Our father was working in town, in Harare. So the thing is, we grew up very poor. That is what I can call abject poverty. And I was exposed to a lot of suffering, just as good as my fellow brothers and sisters. But I must salute my mother. Our mother did everything she could to see us through. And she sponsored our education, primary school. She would do some piece jobs there in the fields of other people until I finished my secondary. Then my brother had actually joined the army. He left to join the army before he could finish school. He was in grade 6, so he couldn't even make it to grade 7. Wow. But he wanted to uplift his young brothers. So the remaining of 2 of his brothers, young brothers, it was me and my other elder brother immediately before me. So what happened here, my brother said, whoever passes, I'm gonna sponsor him. That's how God started to move for me in my life, because my brother then went on to sponsor me up to Form 2. That is, I was now in secondary school. Mm-hmm. And, well, when he married, he couldn't continue with the sponsorship because of increased responsibilities. So I saw God again moving for me, but I wasn't close to God. I knew God because my mother, he was the source of light. God used her. My mother would take me to church as far as I could remember. I was born and started going to church with my mother. So I became acquainted with Jesus, and my mother was so much instrumental in bringing me closer to the Lord. He would take me through Sunday school teachings. Where was Jesus born? And I was one of the shining children, young children, kids at the church. It was a small church, but it helped me a lot. Mm-hmm. It laid the foundation for me. And also, my association, my close relationship with my mother helped me a lot, because my mother would share with me problems and trials and tribulations. And sometimes she would ask me to pray for her. Even at the church, she was told, when you are in deep trouble, your son must pray for you. So my mother played that kind of role, to the extent that finally, when I left the home, when I went for my secondary education, although I became rebellious, that is when I started indulging alcohol, all those things, the worldly things that these worldly children are engaging in. I got involved, smoking daha and going along with bad friends. Mm-hmm. And I think of those friends, I was the worst. Mm-hmm. So many times, the headmaster threatened to chase me away, but through God's grace, I managed to finish my secondary education. And the thing I must openly confess, I later on went with my education without solid support. So I ended up doing piece jobs in order for me to be able to finish my education. Then I started my high school, and I was doing piece jobs, and I was staying with my other brother. So basically, that is how I grew. But there's one thing that I want to highlight. The community in which I grew up was a witchcraft community. And I must thank the Lord, because the Lord protected me from getting myself to be like one of those people who were engaging in witchcraft. Right. But what I can say, how God stood by me was, God, I could see things. I could see demons. Of course, my mother passed on to me that rich background to understand there are demons. You can fall sick because of demons. But most of the times I was a sick person. But I could see witchcraft coming against me. And as far as I can tell now, I don't see anybody in our community. Mm-hmm. Most people were involved into witchcraft. It was like the thing. It was like for you to have a stable home and a prospering kind of life, you must be anchored in witchcraft. So God saved me, but there came a point where I thought me and my mother as a family were weak. Mm-hmm. We also had to reach out for these witchcraft things. Right. But God stood by me, because me and my mother never took me to go beyond the boundaries. Right. Yeah, but the thing is, I was now somebody who was full of the knowledge to understand there's witchcraft, to understand I must go to God. And the unfortunate thing is that it was false gospel all over. There was false prophets, those who speak in tongues. We could literally in our home, we were a people ruled by false prophets and witchcraft. So we thought, when you are being bewitched to get rid of those spells, you would go to the false prophets. Then they conduct the prayers. So it was something like outside. But I must thank the Lord, because from within myself, I developed the habit of praying to God.
Yourself?
Myself, personally.
Right.
So, well, there are so many instances that happened in my life, and I could attribute that to the witchcraft that was going on in the community.
Now, was witchcraft also in the church?
The church was a witchcraft thing.
Okay.
Now, with hindsight, I look back, because the practice whereby they cleanse homes, whereby you go there when you are sick, and somebody reaches out with his hands onto your stomach, head, wherever there was pain. And you know, to my experience, the demons of pain were everywhere. Because when I first met Reverend Ernest, I quickly learned these things, because like they were already relating to my previous past experiences. So I would feel pain even on my finger. I could feel pain even on a certain spot, part of my body, from nowhere. And no, we had no access to medical facilities, but surely the time I started going to doctors, I could distinguish, because when I go to a doctor, he can't tell me exactly what's my problem. And I know that there's a demon behind every affliction, but this was too much.
Right.
I could separate to say, no, this is witchcraft, because sometimes I saw it in the night. God gave me to understand these things. So at the end of the day, well, that's my background. We were people ruled by witchcraft.
Right. Now, Mildred, was your life growing up the same as Matthias?
No, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same, though I was not concentrating about witchcraft. It was like we just living in a big family and that's it. Otherwise, no witchcraft. But at the end of the day, when I grew up, I could tell something was happening, because my family, closest, my family, they didn't like me. They didn't like me. They used to say, she's too clever. She thinks she's clever. She thinks she knows. And she's a dreamer. She thinks she's a dreamer. There comes a dreamer. You know? It was
That's what
just
your
like
family
that.
said about you?
Yes. They were saying she's a dreamer. She thinks she's a dreamer. Because sometimes I dream dreams. Then I tell them. Then said, this one, don't listen to it. Because I think I was telling them the truth. What I've dreamed about, they said,
It
don't
sounds
listen.
like Joseph in the Bible.
Exactly. Exactly like Joseph, they didn't like him. The brothers, they didn't like him. Just like me, they didn't like me. They said, she thinks she's clever. She thinks she knows everything. You know?
Did you grow up in church?
Yes. We grew up in church, and that church, it's like... I remember one of the days, my mom, because she was slow in preparing to go to church, and my father was in the car hooting, let's go, let's go. All the kids get in the car. She came without shoes. She was wearing slip-ons. We call them slippers. Then when we get to church, my mom, I said, what are you wearing? She says, I'm wearing... It's your father. I forgot to wear shoes. So I'm not going in the church. I will remain in the car. You know, now I know God. I said to myself, but my mother, it means that church wasn't a good church. That church was not preaching the truth. Because if I were me, I was just going to go in the church. Why? There's no problem with the shoes you are wearing. So that church, they could... I remember sometimes when we come from church, we pass through people in the village. They will be doing their rituals. They playing drums, the African drums, singing. Someone is there seated. They brew beer and whatnot. So those people from church could pass through, sing also, and they starting clapping hands, but they're from church. So it was a false church.
Right. So they mixed the world in with it.
Exactly. It was a mixed bag. It was just a mixed bag.
Well, we want to find out how the two of you met, but we do have to take a quick break here. So friends, stay with us. We have more to come. We'll be right back.
God had a way of penetrating or entering our hearts because we were sincere but very wrong.
Psalm chapter 103, verse 3. Who forgiveth all thine iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases.
Something grabbed me and I was going from the wall to wall. And I couldn't feel it, but I knew something had a hold of me. Because it was strong, I mean strong. Your mind just couldn't wrap around something holding you and you can't see it. And then all of a sudden I looked down, it was 4 fingers, just like somebody took a straight razor with 4 and crossed my chest. It had to be a devil present there to do that.
The devil is real. The book, The Deceit of Lucifer, written by the Reverend Ernest Angley, will help you to recognize the devil's tactics that he seeks to keep hidden. This book will open your eyes to how he works and how he operates. Go to our webpage to order your copy today.
We're back with Mathias and Mildred, and could you tell us how you guys even came together and met?
Yes, it's like I met Matthias at the University of Zimbabwe. You know, I've been praying and praying to say, God, I want to get married, and my family didn't want me to get married. They wanted me to be single and use me working for them and everything. But me, I was praying and praying. Then the Lord spoke to me, well, why don't you go to the University of Zimbabwe and do something? Then I went there and I was put in his class. He was teaching me economics. so it's like...
now,
well,
he was a part-time teacher, right?
He was a part-time teacher, and that time he was a practicing lawyer, young lawyer by that time. And after work, he could go to the University of Zimbabwe teaching economics. So I went there. Actually, when I went there, I was on a fast, a long fast. When I was fasting, the Lord spoke to me, why don't you go to the University of Zimbabwe, which I did. And I chose, when you go there, you want to do some subjects, they will give you a list, choose what you want to do. Then I said, economics. Then I was taken to his class. I never thought of him, my husband or boyfriend, no. Then there's a time I went to South Africa for 1 week. I was doing business. Then when I came back, he came to me and said, where have you been? I was not seeing you for the whole week. I said I was in South Africa doing some business. Then he says, so who is going to give you the notes? I said, my friend will give me the notes. Then he says, no, this is my business card. Come to my office, I'll give you the notes on Saturday. I said, it's fine. I just listened. I just listened to say, okay. Then I went to his office as per appointment. Then he met me. Then instead of giving notes, he was saying, are you married? I said, no. Then he showed that he loves me. Then I said, no problem. But meanwhile, I was on a fast, 40 days fast. Mm-hmm. I fasted for this guy, 40 days. So at the end of the day, that was it. I fell in love with him. And I remember one of the days when we were coming from university in the evening, I was driving a small car. Then he says to me, okay, can I pass through my office? Then I said, okay. Then he says, I want to take something from someone's office. That's what he said. That office is like he was going to see his past girlfriend. That's what he told me earlier. But when he went out, going up the building, I was on my own in the car. Then I just spoke out. I said, this must be my husband. If someone was in the car, you could hear, because it was like not in my mind, but I said it out. Then when he came, we went. From there, he was saying, so how do we go about it so that I get married to you and whatnot? I said, God is wonderful. Then I broke the fast. Then I counted and see it was 40 days. I said, that's my answer. God answered me. That's why I'm
So you knew he was meant to be your husband.
We got married. He paid a lot of lobola, and the wedding was so nice. We didn't invite a lot of people because I knew people don't want me to get married. I just picked, even the relatives I picked. Then it was, wow, it was a nice wedding. I wish I had photos.
Now, you had a daughter together.
Yes.
And during this time, I believe you both were ill. Is that correct?
Yes.
So can you kind of share with us what happened at this point in your life?
Yeah, maybe I can come in there. When we married, actually, I was a bit fine. But way into the marriage, I grew worse. And also, she had a liver issue. She had a growth on the liver. Meanwhile, I had a prostate cancer. But I was young that time. It was unusual for a person of that age to be having prostate cancer.
Right.
But that's what happened to me. But you see, I saw it coming. Like I said before, I could see devils coming to attack me. It was in the form of a serpent. And this serpent was witchcraft spirit. Now I understand. It struck me on the groin. From that day, I started to be sick before I married her, but it was a bit okay. But when we married, it worsened. So the thing is, around that time, actually that time, that is when we came to be in contact with Reverend Ernest Angley. And then we went on a 30-day fast. But I think the point of contact with Reverend Ernest Angley, she can come in because she had a dream.
Yes, I had, as I was sick, my liver was swollen. Then I was just saying to God, God, I need healing. Then a few days down the line, I dreamt. I had a dream. It was so vivid. And say, actually, it came as if it's my sister who stays, that time she was staying in America at some other state. Then she said, you know, here in America, there is a man of God. That man of God, if he prays for you, any disease, any type of disease, it will melt. So I had to call her and ask her. And she was telling me other pastors. Then I said, no. She said, this one, I said, no. This one, I said, no. I said, so I don't know. I don't know your dream. I don't know. Then after 3, 4, 5 days down the line, I saw on our local Zimbabwe TV, ZBC, Reverend Ernest Angley advertising, coming to Harare, pastors meeting, you know, his voice. I said to Matthias, this is the man I dreamed about. He said, how do you know? I said, he's the one, because that dream was saying, that man doesn't have a wife, doesn't have children. But if he prays for you, any type of disease, it will melt. As a true man of God. So I said to Matthias, this is the man. He says, so what do we want to do? I said, okay, let's go. Because they were advertising pastors meeting at Sheraton Hotel. It was, now it's called Rainbow Towers.
And at this time, you both were pastors, correct?
That time we were pastors, but it's like we
went to false gospel.
False gospel. You know, it's like those people, we didn't go to Bible school, both of us. But at the end of the day, this church where we were going, there was this bishop and others. But they nominated, say, okay, Mathias and Mildred, we are now pastors under us here to visit our house, by the way, to say, I admire you. Why? Because that time we just praying on our own. But he came to our house and said, I admire you, how you do God's work. So we are inviting you to be under me, and I will make you pastors. Then we said, okay, it's fine if you want to be our leader. So that's how we started going to his church.
But you were under false prophets.
Yes.
Okay.
False. We didn't know.
You
We were
didn't know.
doing everything half-heartedly. We thought this is the way.
Yeah, I think I think
Wholeheartedly.
God had a way of penetrating or entering our hearts, because we were sincere, but very wrong.
Right.
So we would dedicate ourselves and discharge our duties to the church faithfully, but against that, we're receiving false gospel.
Right.
So to the extent that we would pray, the answers were hard to come by. Our finances were not going right. We would do business, but it wasn't like blooming as it started to grow when we met Reverend Ernest Angley. So at the end of the day, we had no progress in our prayer life. Yeah, so
Right.
we realized that it was because we were in false gospel.
Right. You had no idea. You didn't come into the truth.
Yes.
Well, we were running out of time here,
Yes.
but we're going to go ahead and continue this interview, but it won't be aired until next week.
Yes.
So we're kind of leaving our audience with a cliffhanger, because they're going to talk about how they received their miracles and how they came to know this ministry and how the Lord has helped them in a great way. So we want to thank you for being on the show, and we'll go ahead and continue this interview afterwards.
Thank you.
Big blessing. We love it. We love you guys. We're having a great time. Friend, we'd like to give you this opportunity right now to receive Jesus Christ in your heart. Maybe you're not living for Jesus. Maybe there's something wrong in your life and you don't even realize that you don't have that connection with Jesus. I'd like to give you this opportunity to receive Jesus Christ into your heart. Say this prayer with me and mean it with your whole heart. Say, "Oh God, save my soul. Forgive me for my sins. Come into my heart, Jesus. Come on in, Jesus." Amen. Friend, if you meant that prayer, you have Jesus Christ in your heart. Now come and be with us in the services whenever you have an opportunity to do so. Whenever you're in the area, please come and visit us. Coming up on the next Our Grace Family.
The Reverend came, he was just pleading the blood of Jesus, the blood, up and down. And these so-called prophets, but now we know they were false prophets, because the Reverend was saying, take them out. That's not the Spirit of the God. That's not the Spirit of God.
The thing is, I had never seen anything like that. A preacher declaring the authority of God in the manner and intensity that I saw that day. It was just mind-blowing.
Don't miss the next Our Grace Family.
This program has been made possible by the friends and partners of Ernest Angley Ministries.